Hi, this is Blue Reid and this is Makers Ask. Today I'm going to talk about how to take the art class that you've been teaching from a really good class to an even better or great class. So I think the most important thing to do is to really know your stuff. That doesn't mean you need to know everything about art, by the way. If you're an expert in one particular thing, you've been doing one particular thing and you're ready to share it, there's somebody out there that's just dying to know what you know, I'm sure. So what I like to start with is, like, I'm doing this project behind me and my class is about to arrive and I'm so excited. It's our third class together. We'll have 4 to complete this one painting, and I'm taking them through the steps of how to create this painting. Not necessarily because they love this painting, and I made that really clear. Hopefully it appeals to them and they'll be able to keep it and be proud of it and everything, but because it's the learning process. I want people to learn how to take a painting from, gee, I have an idea, all the way through all those steps to completion. So if I can teach them that, then they can go on to create their own pieces. So I know what I'm doing, I've done it before, I write it down, I photograph the process, and then I take them through it step by step and demo that. So that's really important. The other thing that I want to share with you is something really personal, and that is that I want my space to be really inviting. I want people, when they come, to enjoy what I love doing best and what I know, what I am sort of expert at. I want them to feel really at home. So I take the first few minutes of the class to do almost nothing. They've just had a long drive, probably. They gets to school and getting supplies together and it's really chaotic. That is no way to paint. So when they arrive, I greet them. I'm a big hugger, so you have to be aware of that. Come to my studio, you're going to get hugged. They come in and then, well, I'll show you what I do. Okay, see what I have here? This might be silly, but nobody seems to complain about it. This is my little station. So they come in through my door, they get a hug, hey, how's your week been? And it doesn't have to take an hour. Good heavens, should not do that, but at least 10 minutes to drop in, put your stuff down, find your seat, come to this station. I have here some teas that they can make and water, and I have some almonds, and today I made brownies, but usually I make some kind of a treat of some kind, but maybe not full of sugar because I don't actually want them to crash during class, so I'm treating them with brownies today. But cloth napkins, just so that they feel a sense of home. The other thing that I think is really important is I swept the floors, I vacuumed all the cat hair off my rugs, made everything clean, cleaned the bathroom so that it feels comfortable here. Because if they're neurotic and worried, or they feel like things are cluttered and chaotic, it's not peaceful and calm enough. I like to burn sage and open the windows a little bit, make sure it's warm and comfortable, and that everybody can really be as conscious about their work as they possibly can be. So this is one of the things that I do to really help people feel comfortable and happy in my space. That's very important to me. And guess what happens if they love being here? You know, they'll keep coming back if they love it. So that's the win for me, but also they will learn to create from a space of calm as well, which is, your artist lives in that quiet place. It doesn't mean that sometimes when you're cathartically painting, it can be this rush of wild energy. That's true too. But if I rush into my studio in a chaotic way, I don't tend to create things that I'm proud of later. It may be a great process to just lay on a painting, and sometimes I've done that too, but if I'm really wanting to create something that's part of a series that's going to show in a gallery that I'm going to sell, I want to do that from the quietest possible spaces in my mind and in my surroundings. Okay. Then the last thing I do at the end of class, they've come and they've calmed down and we've done our process and we're all finished. At the end of that, I like to save at least 10 minutes, especially if it's a small class. About 10 minutes is about good. And a small class to me is like 4 to 6 people, which is a nice intimate space. I like that. You know, it's great to do 30 people, but I like the intimacy of a small group because I can really say, hey, that color is great, or you might think about darkening that color. With 30 people, it's really, you're learning a lot from your neighbors, which is really fun, but you don't maybe get the personal attention from the teacher or the instructor. Anyways, at the end, I like those 10 minutes to do what I call a supportive critique. People are really worried about the word critique. It sounds like criticize, which that doesn't help anybody. I was, in art school and it was pretty brutal. But here in my space, this is calm, this is a supportive place. So I want to encourage people to do their best, but also it's really fun to hear what the other people have to say, and it's very normalizing, I think, for the other students to really see the other people's work up on the wall. This is what we created today. So they compare themselves a lot to what I do, and I've been doing this forever. So sometimes it's a little bit intimidating, which that's not helpful. Not really. They need to, you know, I want them to follow the steps and they should be well done, hopefully. But it's really supportive and helpful for them to see their students, their peers work, and to see how it's progressing along from step to step. And to hear what they have to say, because, you know, this person might have something really insightful to say about this other particular artist's work that maybe I didn't think of, or I thought it and I didn't say it yet or something, but that way it's cooperative. It brings a real unity to the group as well. So that's always something I really enjoy doing at the end. When you've created a space that's really calming and soothing, that people want to come back to, and that your students have been really successful in, there's almost nothing better to me than watching somebody who's new at art and new at painting, maybe never done it before, and they finish a piece and it's just how they wanted it. They were able to be really, really successful. As a teacher, there's almost nothing as cool as that. I feel like their success feels like my success times 10, you know, so don't be afraid to share what you know. You know, in college I was really worried because people would copy me and it would freak me out, like, oh, they're gonna have more success than I do, whatever, but it's just really not been the truth. People do copy other people. It's a good way to learn. So if my students are copying me, and in this case, that's what I want them to do. Copy me exactly, watch exactly how I do this and then do it. But if I am worried in the world that people are gonna do what I do comes from here, deep in here. So all they can do is copy what it looks like because it's authentic. So I have learned that I can totally let that go. And if people want to copy, awesome. Eventually when they've copied enough, they'll find their own voice. And what a great thing to be a step in the process towards somebody else's own realization of their own voice. So you can feel proud of that. If somebody is copying you, or your students are starting to copy you and you're worried they're going to get better than you are or whatever, try to just breathe into that and let it go, because it's a compliment. And if you're really doing what you're meant to do, then what else is there? It's fine. Let them copy you. And if they are better than you, wow, what a great teacher you are. So try as best you can to be as open and loving and sharing as you can, because I'll bet you find more joy in that than you ever expected. It is such a pleasure to watch people thrive and learn something that you've been able to share and teach them. So play with that concept. Then at the end of class, we say goodbye. Hopefully we end on time. I think it's really important to be respectful of people's time, and as much as I might enjoy socializing with somebody, I know they have kids to pick up at school or jobs to get back to or whatever it is, so end on time, start on time. And then the next thing that I do is I clean my space up again. I reclaim it as my studio. That's important. I like to teach once a week and no more. Sometimes during the summer, twice a week, but any more than that takes me away from my own drawing and painting experiences, which they're sacred to me. But clean the brushes, clean the palettes, clean everything up so that you don't have any waste. I hate to rebuy brushes because I didn't clean them properly or whatever. I never do that, actually. I have secret processes that I've shared already in videos about how to clean brushes and keep those cleaned up. So that way, everything is ready to go for the next time. And when my students are ready to come next week, I don't have to do much to do. Clean the bathroom, make sure that's all nice and clean, sweep the floors, vacuum up the cat hair, ready to go for the next class. So I hope that helps you to take your classes to the next level and help your students to achieve the next level as well. So thanks for watching. This has been Makers Ask, and I'm Blue.